Up 3 down in the first 2 innings. He goes back to work here in the third, facing David DeJesus. Landon Powell, then Eric Sogard, 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup for Bob Melvin. 2 out of 3 last night for DeJesus.
Over the years, DeJesus has just really done well against Tigers pitching. He came in struggling last night, not swinging the bat all that effectively, but you talked about the fact that he got 3 hits in that contest, and when he was performing for the Kansas City Royals, he got a lot of hits against Detroit pitching.
And a lot of RBIs as well. His 49 RBIs against the Tigers, more than he has put up against any other team. So he used to do really well in a KC uniform. Hitting only .133 against lefties this year, though, and Belo misses outside.
A lot of scouts here tonight at Comerica Park, all seated behind home plate. That's exactly what you're going to get in every single ballpark as the trade deadline gets closer.
Bouncing ball right side. Guillen to the grass, and he can't handle it. And DeJesus is safe.
That will be Carlos's first error of the year.
First base runner of the ball game for the Athletics. E4, and that'll bring up Landon Powell. Ball 1 missing high. 1 ball, no strikes. Landon Powell playing first base tonight. Backup catcher to Kurt Suzuki, and when you're Suzuki's backup, you don't play a whole lot. The 1-0 is a ball. 2 balls, no strikes on Powell. There's a strike. And the 2-1. Driven to left center field. That ball is down, a base hit. And taking the turn and going to third, DeJesus. He'll get in there standing up.
That's a wise decision by Austin Jackson not to come up and take the bait by throwing the ball to third base to try to get DeJesus. And by doing so and throwing the ball to second base, they keep the double play in order. That ball is down in the strike zone. Real good concentration by Powell, who continues to rack up some really good numbers against the Tigers. And as I mentioned, a wise decision by Jackson just throwing that ball to second base.
That's the first hit of the night for the Athletics. Here is Eric Sogard. Was hitting .298 at Sacramento. Recently called up by the Athletics. And he chops one foul. An error and a single giving the Athletics their first scoring opportunity here in the third. DeJesus reaching on the air, and Powell singling him to third base. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Guillen ranging over there, and he'll get a run in. Sogard is out. He'll get an RBI, though, as DeJesus scores to make it 1-0 Athletics. First RBI for Sogard. Now Coco Crisp. 0 for 1 with a ground ball. In fact, Belo got 3 ground ball outs in that first inning. Ball 1 missing outside. Belo was the Tigers minor league pitcher of the year back in 2007. He was pitching in West Michigan in the Midwest League, which is A-ball for the Tigers. He won 13 games that year and led the Midwest League with 160 strikeouts, earning him the organization's Pitcher of the Year award. 1-1 on the outer edge, 1-2. Last 3 full seasons in the minors, don't forget, 09 was a wash because of the Tommy John surgery. And Toledo this year, an ERA a shade over 3. Three and 2 now on Crisp. Driven down the left field line. It'll hook though. That'll go foul. Coco came into this game a .319 career hitter against Tigers pitching. A lot of that came in his days with both the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox. And again the 3-2. Driven into left field, base hit. Howell lumbering to third base. He will stop there, and Crisp has a single. And that leaves runners at first and third. Still only 1 out. That'll bring up Cliff Pennington.
Little cut fastball at 88 miles an hour right down and in to Coco Crisp. And really all Crisp did was drop the bat head into the strike zone and hit a bullet in the left field.
So Belo trying to limit the damage here will face Pennington, who bounced out back in the first inning. .277 this year with men in scoring position. And Belo likely gets out of the inning here with another ground ball. Missing high, 1-0. The Athletics have a couple of former first-round picks in their lineup tonight. Landon Powell was their first-rounder in '04, and Pennington was their first-rounder in '05. And the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Belo was pitching well, as we mentioned, down in Toledo. In his 4 starts prior to being called up, he was 3-0. And had an ERA a little bit over 2. And as Jim Leyland always says, when they go down to the minor leagues, he was who they recommended to make this start. So Belo gets his chance. It gets away from Avila, can't find it. Howell thought about it, but he'll head back to third base, and scooting to second base is Crisp.
And Powell didn't run well down at third base and was not anticipating a wild pitch there. And therefore, he wasn't able to advance.
And Jim Leyland making his way out to the mound.
And Jim will try to settle the youngster down. This will have nothing to do with mechanics. Hey fans, coming up on our new edition of Tigers Weekly, we show you how various fans experience the excitement and enjoyment of a game at Comerica Park. And see it all in a new Tigers Weekly premiering Friday at 7 p.m. here on Fox Sports Detroit.
So after some words of encouragement from the skipper, we'll see if Below can settle down here now. Second and third. 3 balls, no strikes to count on Cliff Pennington. And he walked him. That's going to load the bases. And while we have a moment, let's go back to the studio now. We check in with Mickey York.
All right, Mario, it's a Jeep game break. As you and Rod discussed earlier, another tight one between the Twins and Indians earlier today. Game tied at 4 in the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, and Danny Valencia comes up huge for the second straight day with a base hit to right that bounces off the glove of Orlando Cabrera. Delman Young comes in to score. The Twins add 2 more in the 8th and go on to win it by a final of 7-5. Mario, Rod?
All right, Mick, thank you. And that's why the Tigers are trying to take advantage, although they trail here tonight 1-0. Bases full now for the Athletics. And it's fouled back out of play by Josh Willingham. He is their number 3 hitter with 12 home runs this year and career .329 with the bases loaded.
His name has come up quite often in trade talks the last week or so. A lot of people feeling like Willingham might be moved from the A's to a contender because of his powerful right-handed bat.
And a couple of names on this A's team that have been bandied about. Coco Crisp, another. Reds seem to have some interest in him. Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2 on Josh Willingham.
Well, Coco Crisp will give you some stellar play defensively in the outfield, and he also brings the speed element to the game.
Below trying to wiggle out of this jam. He has surrendered 1 run. They have him loaded now with 1 out. And the 0-2. He got it. Strike 3. Willingham took it looking. 2 gone. First big league strikeout.
Willingham must have thought that Below was going to waste a pitch, and he didn't. He threw the fastball right at the knees, and it was right down the middle, and he could not get the bat off his shoulders.
So the first major league strikeout comes in a big, big spot. Some more love for Dwayne Below. So now Matsui with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Ball 1 to Hideki.
Do you remember whether we saw Dwayne Below in spring training in any of the 4 games that we did?
I don't believe so. I may be wrong.
I was trying to think as well.
I don't recall seeing Dwayne. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's fouled back out of play. We've seen him pitch at some point in spring training. Maybe not one of the telecasts we ran, but
right.
It's so long ago. I don't remember what I had for breakfast today.
Yes, you did.
And lunch. Or dinner, actually. Oh, that's right. There was Chinese tonight for dinner. 1-1 on Matsui.